Pat Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, coming to you from IT Expo East 2011 here in Miami. And joining me is Garrett Smith, Chief Marketing Officer for VoIP Supply. Hey Garrett, how you doing?
Good, Pat, how are you?
Good, thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So I understand you guys have an announcement that you made here at the show regarding a new fulfillment service that you're providing, right? Suite of services?
Yep. So this week at IT Expo, we released VoIP Fulfillment by VoIP Supply, which is a suite of services for VoIP providers designed to increase their operational efficiency, decrease their touch costs, and also bolster their customer experience.
Okay, great. And maybe you could just break that down and tell me about the various pieces of that.
Sure, absolutely. Well, lots of distributors can pick, pack, and ship. They can configure devices and ship them out to an end customer for a service provider. We all know that. But what VoIP Fulfillment is really about is taking all of the soft services that are around being, I guess, the infrastructure pieces for a service provider and allowing them to leverage the infrastructure that VoIP Supply has created to better their operation. So some of those things are little things: Tier 1 technical support, customer service, returns processing, and device configuration. We also offer nationwide installation services. If the service provider happens to have a nationwide footprint and needs feet on the street to go out there and actually install the devices in their customers' offices, even if it's just to plug things in and test them and make sure they're okay. In addition to that, we also have a program that allows service providers to get leads. So VoIP Supply, as many people know, we have a retail front, we have a wholesale channel. A lot of times we get end user customers who call in. They want to buy hardware from us, a phone system or just some phones, but they don't know who to get the service from. So our sales reps are now, working service into the conversation, and what we're doing is we're taking those leads and we're passing them off to service providers that we're working with.
Okay, great. I think you also mentioned device refurbishment also as being part of it, is
right?
Yeah.
Last year,
helps make you green, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So last year, what we did, and this was something that kind of came out of the recessionary period, is we realized that a lot of customers were looking for a way to maximize their budget, squeeze every penny that they could.
Right.
Or we're in a position where maybe in 2003, 2004, they bought first generation VoIP technology. A perfect example would be something like HD Voice. 2003, 2004, HD Voice wasn't around, right? So if you got that great Polycom phone at that time, now all of a sudden you're hearing about HD Voice and you want to get this crisp, clear calling, but you just spent a couple $100 on an IP phone. What do? Do you want to go and reinvest? Well, some people will, but a lot of people just say, the cost is too high. So what we did is we built a program that allows customers to sell devices back to us, realize a capital gain, help increase their budget, help make getting into the newer technology a little bit easier. But also what we've done is we've taken that equipment that we're buying back, we're reconditioning it through a 10-step process, and then we push it back out the door to people who need an alternative to brand new equipment.
Okay, great. That's excellent. I understand you also have another announcement regarding a partnership with is it Starview Networks, is that right?
Starview Solutions, yes.
Starview Solutions,
so,
I'm sorry.
So yesterday we announced a partnership with Starview, and essentially Starview is a white label provider of hosted and SIP trunking services.
Right.
So they have this Prism infrastructure that makes provisioning SIP trunks, hosted seat accounts, and DIDs extremely fast and easy for service providers. So what we've did is, through our partnership, is we integrated our VoIP fulfillment platform with their Prism platform so that anybody, an ISP who is not doing voice over IP, an ITSP who is doing voice over IP but maybe isn't as efficient or isn't getting the low cost hardware and service minutes that they think they should, or even an entrepreneur can come to our two organizations and get everything they need to start a VoIP provider.
Okay, great. Excellent. So tell me a little bit about the market right now from VoIP Supply's perspective, and tell me what markets you're seeing are what specific industries and verticals are hot, and also what regions are hot as well.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we're seeing, and I'm seeing a lot of, is that we're getting into a wave of customers that need much more education and hand-holding when it comes to voice over IP. A couple of years ago...
The holdouts?
Yeah, the holdouts, so to speak. They're not as skeptical as they were a couple of years ago. So where we're really starting to see strong growth are in non-tech industry sectors. So for instance, I was having a conversation at the booth today with a gentleman who owns 27 dental locations in the Boston area. That would be a perfect example of a vertical that is growing. Dental, healthcare, even industries like trucking and transportation. Verticals that are typically not tech savvy are now kind of saying, oh wow, I want to get into voice over IP, but taking that next step is difficult because there is so much choice. And what we've been trying to do at VoIP Supply is make disseminating all that choice a lot easier.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I know what you mean. Those ones that are sitting there saying, "Well, we have now works fine. If it
Yes.
ain't broke,
Absolutely.
why fix it?"
And a lot of people too, because when voice over IP was in its infancy, it was all about saving money. That's a big hurdle today because a lot of folks don't understand there is an upfront investment that you do have to make in hardware,
Right.
and oftentimes for some of these businesses, voice over IP just isn't a great fit.
Right.
So we have to find other ways. So integrating this with their business processes. So how do you voice enable business processes?
Right.
Finding other ways to fit voice on your network and make it a value add to your organization, not just cheap minutes.
Right, right. Making them realize those soft costs, the ways they can benefit and reduce costs by increasing employee productivity through the feature sets, but
Absolutely.
at the same time, on the other side, lowering the telecommunications costs overall.
100%.
Yeah, trying to get them to see that.
Yes.
So, and,
Correct.
I would understand that on the productivity enhancing side, it can be sometimes sort of a hard sell.
It
because-
is. It's difficult to sometimes articulate that to people who are not used to thinking of voice in terms of something outside of just making a phone call.
Right.
So it's something that we see, and I think once you talk to customers and you show them the different things, having been in business doing voice over IP since 2004, having over 100,000 customers, we've seen so many different scenarios in verticals and have worked in so many different ways with customers that today what we're really just trying to do is find the best fit for that customer based on their situation.
Right.
Whether or not that is to the ultimate gain of VoIP Supply or not. There's a lot of people, again, that we deal with every day that come in, and voice over IP is just not a fit. And
Right.
we don't want to shove anything down their throat. We just say, well, it looks like voice over IP is probably not the best fit for you. You're not going to save any money. You're not going to enhance any processes. You're probably good with what you have.
Right, right. Okay, great. Good. Well, you guys are exhibiting on the floor, right? What's your booth
Yes,
number?
we're at booth 1210.
Okay, great.
Stop by and see us anytime.
Okay, great.
I'll fill you in on the little details if you want more.
Okay, great. Good. Thanks very much,
Yeah.
Garrett, for your time.
Thank you.
We've been talking to Garrett Smith, Chief Marketing Officer for VoIP Supply, coming to you from IT Expo East here in Miami. Thanks again, Garrett.
Thank you.